We are back on MLB Central after a nice long weekend. I got my guys with me, Mark DeRo, Robert Flores, and we're thrilled to be joined by Mark Melancon. What a treat, Mark. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for being here. I asked the guys what they were doing to be productive over the last couple months, last week. Crickets. Meanwhile, yeah, don't shake your head. No, you know it's true. Meanwhile, you're installing lawns and landscaping. Tell us what the past couple months have been like for you.
They've been extremely busy, but a lot of fun. I've been learning a ton. We're installing artificial putting greens, lawn turf, bocce ball courts. It's been an absolute blast. Yeah.
So someone asked for help. I know.
Hold on. I need 20 seconds time out on that.
And you show up. Are they like, what the?
There has been a few of those. It's been pretty funny. But, at the end of the day, we're trying to give the customer a great product. And most of the time it's a putting green and got some avid golfers out there. So it's been really cool. It's been a huge learning process for me.
Did you grow up around this? Was your dad a landscaper or something? Like, how does this come to pass? You signed like the 5th richest contract for a reliever in the history of baseball, and you're installing putting greens in your downtime?
I just got out of the dump truck. I literally walked in, took the load, and now I'm back, and here I am with you guys. But the way it came about is my brother-in-law and sister, they moved down here to Florida where we're at. And I didn't want to take my brother-in-law away from a job because we asked them to move down here to join us on this beautiful island of Anna Maria Island. And I felt like it was me pulling them away from a good opportunity that they had in Colorado. And so it wasn't any pressure by them, but I felt like, I need to help provide, a sense of financial stability for them. So we put our heads together and came up with installing putting greens. So, yeah.
Now, Mark, if I wanted, let's say I'm not a golfer, but I like other things. Could I get you to install like a mini football field with my face as the 50-yard line logo? Is that something that you could do?
I would love that. Yes, because we would embellish your face a little bit, and we can customize any logo you want. I actually have. I went to the University of Arizona, and my wife went to Notre Dame, so she gets position A in our yard. But we have 2 giant logos in the yard. It looks awesome.
I love that.
That. Mark, let me jump in.
Those ears would be a little bit bigger, though. I know that.
When you were playing with the San Francisco Giants, I remember reading an article of you like putting the outline of a home you were building, like in Mexico or something, in the outfield of AT&T. So you've always been like interested in this stuff, like landscape design and all this stuff going into it, right?
Well, that wasn't, I didn't have anything to do with that design. That was the architect, and they wanted to lay it out. And I just thought, well, what better place to do it than in the middle of the outfield at AT&T Park? And it turned out really cool, as you saw. But that was totally separate. That's more of a real estate thing. And I don't know. My mind is always going, and I feel like it's a healthy outlet from baseball. When you're sitting in the hotel room, as you know, Mark, it's like you got so much time on your hands, and I feel like I want to use that. And people could look at it like I'm too many different places, but I feel like it's a healthy outlet.
Robert's shaking his head like he agrees, bro.
Yeah. I identify so much with your passion, and you just involved in everything, because that's me, Mark. I'm just just
that's awesome
in everything.
That's why we're gonna have a giant face in the middle of your yard.
I know. I love that. Hey, you go to the Braves last year, and we were reading that you made just a slight tweak to where you stand on the rubber when you got to Atlanta, and that really improved a lot of things, especially your curveball. And I just found it interesting that these slight tweaks and slight changes can lead to really big things and bigger results.
I was reluctant to change, anything with where I stood on the rubber. I didn't want to get into a mechanical change, and the reason I was reluctant to do it on the rubber is my thought process was, if I'm standing in the middle of the rubber, which I've always done for the last 7-8 years, that gives me the biggest ability to throw strikes. You have the most room for air, and with a cutter and a sinker that's not always sinking, but has more of the ability to sink. I felt like being in the middle just allows you to do that. So I was reluctant to do it. And then as soon as I did it, I tried it. I just jumped right in. It was one game. I just said, I'm going to do it. And my cutter started to cut a little bit more. My curveball, like you said, had a little bit more diagonal tilt to it. And there was visibly, you get so used to seeing the plate and the catcher's set up even when you slide 6 inches over, it's a drastic change, but that didn't bother me all that much. And so with all that, I said, let's stick with it. And then, in the clubhouse, the numbers came out and we noticed there was a lot more movement. There was, different access points and stuff like that. So it ended up being something that I stuck with, and I really like now.
Mark, it was interesting. I don't know if you thought you were going to be traded, but Alex Anthopoulos of the Braves dove right in. 2 prospects will take on all the money. What was that initial, you get to Atlanta, do they sit you down and say, hey, you need to up your curveball usage? Hey, we think this, there had to be a reason why they went out and they grabbed you hard and quick, and it was perfect. They thought you were going to help.
Yeah. Alex, when I first got over there, he talked to me through kind of his thought process, which is great. And, Alex is really helpful when talking with him, because he's open and he's really wanting to, teach you what his knowledge is, which is, I love it. So he said that in the last 15, 20 games that I was in while in San Francisco, by making that move over there, he saw the numbers change drastically, and he felt like it really had an uptick in my game. And so all that stuff combined, it was just he liked where it was headed, and he felt like I was going to sustain that and keep moving forward. And when I got traded, it gave me a boost, and it's sometimes it's fun to just be in a different atmosphere. So
I still remember your face right at the deadline when you got traded, all the cameras in your face, and you were just like, well, I didn't expect it, right down to the wire. But Mark, since we have 2 guys who played for the Nats, the Giants, and the Braves, we thought we'd play a little rapid fire action. You can answer with DC, San Fran. First of all, time out. Why do people in San Francisco not like San Fran?
They don't like it.
Why?
I don't know. I'm from
all right,
Jersey.
DC, San Francisco, I won't say it, or Atlanta. Which city has the best breakfast spot? DC, San Francisco, or Atlanta, Mark Melancon?
DC.
Ooh, okay. Now you're talking my language, my town. DeRo?
See, I would say San Francisco. There's a place called Stacks that I went to, and they remember me out there. That was my jam every morning.
Best nightlife, DC, San Francisco, or Atlanta?
I mean, you're 2 happily married men here.
Right.
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Okay, Atlanta.
Toronto.
With the save. Best city to have an off day in?
I enjoy DC.
I would say DC. You golf, but you got the whole
Atlanta.
Who asked you? Best golf courses, DC, San Francisco, or Atlanta?
Well, you have Augusta near Atlanta.
That's true.
There's great golf everywhere, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling
All right,
you.
last question. Pay attention. Have you played Augusta, by the way, Mark?
I have not. Can we arrange that, please?
You're asking me. I wish I had that kind of pull with you, Rob. Best current baseball team. Mark Melancon first. DC.
Atlanta Braves.
Well, I mean, if we're being honest, it's the Nats. I mean, they are the defending
They
champ.
are the reigning champs.
So I would have to say it's the Nats right now. But
Okay.
my
Fair.
heart,
I would have liked to seen a series with the Braves versus Nats last year. I would have liked to see that.
Mark, if someone wants a football field with Robert's head on it, how do they get a hold of your company?
You can just call me direct. No, our website, diamondqualityturf.com.
Okay.
And we just signed up on Instagram too, so you can follow us there at Diamond Quality Turf.
Very.
hey, Mark, I have to know real quick. I mean, when you first started doing this, was there a botch job? I mean, yeah, I mean, you didn't come out of the gates knowing exactly what you were doing.
So the cool story behind it is we have an exclusive agreement with Celebrity Greens. They called me and said, we want to partner up with you. And they have been phenomenal. We've got some major consultation with them, and we have the ability to call them at any time and talk through some stuff. And so before we ever did our first job, we had worked for 2 months with them on different projects. So all my guys were up to speed before. Nice. So to say that we've completely botched the job, no, I don't think we have. Now, have we made our mistakes and all that? And that's a daily thing. But I feel like, customers are happy, and at the end of the day, that's all that we care about. So
keep on learning and getting better like anything else in life. Mark, thanks for hanging out with us on Central. We appreciate the time, and we hope to see you on a mound real soon.
Hey, that was fun. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We will see everyone on Friday. Stay safe and take care.